But anyway, we started with Moira Smith, VP of Asia. And that is how we're going to end today. We're also going to turn it over to Moira, because I think Moira gets to she has her eyes on Asia and our Asia product entirely. So she has a lot of interesting insights to share with us, trends, all that kind of good stuff. We are now going to turn it over to you, Moira, to finish us off for today, our first virtual day for our Asia Forum 2026.
Well, thank you, Ian, and to know those that know me well know that I love to have the last word. But I also have some beautiful slides that I'd like to share. So, Don, how are we doing on that side? There we go. So you've heard from some extraordinary suppliers today, and I hope you're leaving with pages full of notes and ideas that you're going to put into practice. What I want to do is to leave you with 6 things that we're seeing right now in Asia that will help you sell better, inspire a few conversations with your clients, and maybe, just maybe, make you want to book your own trip. So let me start with some news from Goway, because I think it sets a tone for everything I'm about to share. Goway had the best year ever in Asia last year. We had 29% year-on-year growth, and let that land for a minute. That's pretty significant. And to handle that demand, we've grown our FIT team from 25 consultants to 33. Plus, we have 9 dedicated Groups Asia consultants. We are investing heavily in Asia, and that's intentional. On average, our Asia booking is sitting at 22,000, significantly up from just a few years ago. Clients aren't looking for cheap anymore. They're investing. And something to note, and I'm sure you've heard about it today, is at Asia, for what you get at the premium end, it delivers extraordinary value. So who is the Goway client? 60% are couples, 30% are families, and 10% are solo. And we'll be talking a little bit more about that a little bit later. So what's trending? Well, 4 main destinations: Vietnam, China, Philippines, and Japan. Oh, good God.
I was going to say.
How could I forget Japan? So I'm going to talk a little bit into what makes each of those trend. So you've heard all about Japan today, and for good reason. Japan rewards visitors in every season. Spring and autumn, this is a beautiful autumn's color pick, are spectacular, but they've also got summer festivals and winter landscapes in Hokkaido, and their landscapes right over offer something memorable. Beyond the Golden Route, regions like Kyushu, Okinawa, and Shizuoka are gaining traction. And in actual fact, we're busy expanding our Hokkaido program right now, and we've just launched a ski program. One piece of advice, and I'm sure you've heard this today as well: if cherry blossom or autumn colors are non-negotiable for your clients, book now. These periods fall 12 months in advance, and the best small group experiences go first. China is our fastest growing destination right now. After years of reduced access, travelers are excited to go back, and it's delivering. We've completely revamped our China products to suit today's traveler, and we've got great expertise in our team. Vietnam is quietly surging. It's one of my favorite destinations that keeps revealing new layers. And what we're finding is that visitors are coming back to the same places that they resonated with, but they're also going further north or further south. It's a long, beautiful country, and it pairs beautifully with Cambodia and Laos, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. The Philippines is one to watch. It's still under the radar for many North American travelers, but the word is getting out. It's got extraordinary island scenery, world-class diving, warm hospitality, and it's a destination that rewards a curious traveler who's ready to go beyond the obvious. But let's just go back to China and talk practically. Firstly, Canadian clients have visa-free access for up to 30 days until the 30th of December. And for your American clients, there's a 10-day visa-free transit policy applies as long as they add a third country. Hong Kong counts, so San Francisco, Hong Kong, Beijing routing works beautifully. And I also want to give you a word of caution. As China rebounds, so do the low-cost operators. These are heavily subsidized group tours that look extraordinary value on paper, but they rely on mandatory shopping stops and commission-driven detours. Your clients deserve better. China is too magnificent a destination to experience through the wrong lens, and your reputation is too valuable to risk on a shortcut. One of the strongest trends that we're seeing right now is that clients are turning the journey into part of the trip. These 4 stopover destinations, Singapore, Hong Kong, Taipei, and Seoul, are all world-class destinations in their own right. So a well-placed stopover adds richness, excitement, and real value, and often at little or no extra cost to the airfare. So suggest a stopover. Your clients will thank you. And talking of stopovers brings me to multi-destination traveler. Clients are staying longer, they're exploring more, and they're combining destinations that complement each other beautifully. Multi-destination itineraries really deliver richer experience, greater value, and a much more exciting sell. And I think no region on earth combines as naturally as Asia. I'm going to share some of these slides with you of some of the top 4 destinations that combine beautifully. And I also want to point out that everyone on these slides are Goway destination specialists taken of themselves in the destination. So Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos, one of the great Southeast Asia journeys. These 3 countries complement each other beautifully, each with a completely distinct personality, and really, really match beautifully together. India and the Maldives, I've just come back from India, that's me in the middle in the red sari, is a pairing that works really on every level. The intensity, the color, and the sensory richness of India, followed by the pure restorative simplicity of the Maldives. It's the ultimate soft landing, and a combination that delivers 2 completely different but equally extraordinary experiences in one trip. Korea and Japan, Old Soul, New Energy, 2 of Asia's finest destinations side by side in a combination that we are seeing a lot more of. Thailand and Malaysia work beautifully together. The temples and beaches of Thailand, the rainforests and remarkable food culture of Malaysia, the cosmopolitan energy of Kuala Lumpur, and the extraordinary wildlife of Borneo, all just a short flight away. Asia rewards the curious. It's one of the world's richest regions for immersive, off-the-beaten-path travel, and clients are increasingly asking for just that. They want to go deeper, move slower, and come back transformed. So these are the ones that we think deliver well beyond the, or if you take the less traveled path in these destinations, they will reward you. So Thailand's islands are no longer just Phuket and Samui. We're seeing a real shift in requests for Koh Muk, Koh Lipe, and Koh Lanta, coming up more and more, and they're prized for their unspoiled beauty and the genuine sense of escape. Bali remains extraordinary, but Indonesia is so much more than just one island. We're seeing clients increasingly ready to go forward or further, and the rewards are remarkable. Komodo is unlike anywhere else on earth. Dramatic landscapes, the famous dragons, and some of the world's finest diving. And talking of finest diving, Raja Ampat, I think, is one of the most, or certainly one of the most pristine diving destination in the world because of its remoteness. I couldn't leave off Borneo. Borneo is the world's 3rd largest island, and it's home to one of the oldest rainforests on earth. For the client who's done Thailand, done Bali, done Vietnam, and is asking what next, Borneo should be next. And then there's Mongolia, which you've just listened to 8 minutes from our lovely Mongolia partner. This is truly the last truly nomadic nation on earth where these ancient traditions are a living, breathing way of life. You've also heard all about Uzbekistan. This is Silk Road history that you can touch, and honestly, if you've been many other places, this one is going to move you like nowhere else. There's so much more that we could have touched today, and Asia is endlessly rich, but whatever the destination, consider this. Build in what we call the soft landing. It could be a retreat, a beach stay, a mountain retreat. It could be, I can't read my slides, but it could be off the beaten path destinations like Luang Prabang. Could be a spa stay. It could be a retreat. I recently spent 3 weeks in India, and it is intense, unpredictable, and it'll push your clients out of their comfort zone in a way that no other destination quite does. But for the right ones, the curious ones, the open-hearted ones, it's nothing short of extraordinary. It's vibrant, chaotic, colorful, it's utterly alive. But after 2 weeks, I finished with 6 days at Six Senses Vanna near Rishikesh. Rishikesh, excuse me. I didn't realize how much I needed those 6 quiet days until I was in them. Having 6 quiet days to breathe and reset made the whole experience feel complete. I cannot recommend Six Senses Vanna highly enough. Now, 10% of our Asia travelers travel solo. It's a small number, it's growing fast, and the solo women segment in particular is one of the most exciting opportunities out there. This is a market that is often high spending, and these travelers have been underserved by the industry for too long. They don't want to be an afterthought on a couple's tour. They want itineraries designed with them in mind, safe, social where they want to be, and private when they don't. This is also a picture that Don, in fact, took recently in India of 2 of my team. And I think it just beautifully promotes one of our 3 Asian women's tour. And this is the spirit of India, Northern India at its most vivid and contrasting. And it's a journey for the woman who's ready to be changed by a destination. Our second women's journey is the spirit of Thailand. And again, this is a wonderful opportunity for culture, wellness, and unforgettable beauty. It's Thailand at its most nourishing. And finally, a really big trend is K-beauty in Korea. So we have a fantastic Korean K-beauty and wellness women's journey. And this is where you'll see cherry blossoms. We've timed it over the cherry blossom season. Wellness rituals in Jeju's volcanic coast. It's South Korea through a deeply feminine lens. So I'll leave you with this. Chinese proverb says, "He who returns from a journey is not the same as he who left." Nobody comes back from Asia unchanged. They come back curious, inspired, a little different, and already thinking about when they can return. Thank you for spending today with us.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Moira. But I'm not going to let you go that easily. I've got...
Very happy?
Right. Excellent. 2 things that I wanted to discuss with you. Interesting, a couple of weeks ago, I was at ASTA, and they had a presentation there on value. And the speaker said to the audience, how many of you in this room thinks that the Caribbean represents good value? And a few hands went up. He talked about whether or not your clients are millionaires or they're middle income. Everybody wants value. That's the key right now, right?
Very true.
Right. So would you say that Asia is a value proposition? It's a value destination.
Without doubt and with absolute conviction. And it's true value, to mention what you just said, at every price point.
Right.
If you're looking for that absolute luxury, you will get more bang for your buck in Asia than you will anywhere else in the world. I really, really believe that.
Okay. Well, that is an endorsement, if any. And I had a feeling you would say that because that is what I hear as well from those people that travel to that region. The last thing, and it was just a conversation I was having with an agent throughout the course of today. And her question was, if you were a travel advisor and you wanted to go after the Asia market, what would you do? What would be your advice to this travel advisor who is saying now, you know what, I'm interested, I'm intrigued, I want to promote Asia, and I want to sort of, expand my my product offering to my client base to Asia. What would be your advice?
Well, I think the first thing I would do is, there's the older adage that says sell what sells. So
Right.
I would certainly invest in the 4 trending destinations, and that would be the 4 that I mentioned, specifically Japan, China, Vietnam,
Okay.
and
Yep.
I just gone blank on what I said earlier, but the reality in the Philippines,
Yep.
we've got so many great tools, and I'm sure you've spoken about them during the day, whether it's our Travel Academy, listening to our webinars. But the biggest thing is, if once you choose the destinations you want to sell, and of course you will get clients that want elsewhere, honestly, talk to us. We can help you, and when you book or you work with one of our Asia clients, but my advice is choose the destinations you want to specialize in.
Okay, fair enough. Good advice. I think probably by being part of today is a really good start on that road to becoming a travel advisor that says, you know what, Asia is, as you mentioned, Moira, up and coming, and I want to make sure that I'm putting that in front of my guests. And I think that's a big part of it, is introducing your guests. Maybe they haven't even thought about Thailand or the Philippines or China, but you talking to your guests about it is really the first step. So
I agree. And, think about it. If somebody wants to go to the Caribbean or Tahiti, you've got Maldives, you've got beautiful beaches, anywhere you're looking for a beach destination. And the same thing goes whether it's a mountain. If you're looking for culture, well, Asia has it in abundance. It's, yes.